Hey, what's up? It's GVKcollectibles, and welcome to, well, a special Mythical Mountain Tuesday. I guess that's what it's today, just because it was Memorial Day yesterday, and I didn't feel it was appropriate to upload it just because it was on a holiday. So, but anyway, as you all know, Mythical Mountain is basically where I talk about comics that I had read from the previous week and see what I recommend. This week we're going to be doing it a little different, so instead, and I think going forward, just because the videos go for really long, I'm going to talk mainly about my 5 top picks that I really love, the 5 comics I really enjoyed that week. Just mainly because with a lot of the comics that I read, a lot of them don't really get too much story development into some issues. Like, usually you'll get some that have really good ones, have really good story developments, and some that don't, which happens quite a bit. So I figured, hey, let's just condense it down. Just some of the ones that I really liked this week. So, but for those of you who wondered, this is the size of my poll. There is a few variants in here, but anyway, let's just jump in, and I think this is how the Mythical Mountain is going to go forward. Again, just because it saves time on everybody, and but for my first, so this is actually going to be a honorable mention, just mainly because one of the other comics that I read this week actually bounced it out, and that was Dr. Alfred number 10 by Alyssa Wong, the prelude to The Invitation. This is actually a prelude to the War of the Bounty Hunter storyline. So basically what happens, it ends the storyline that has been going on of where Afra and Stanisaros, they're looking for an experimental hyperdrive, which they have found in the previous issue, but the Unbroken Clan has come to try to take it. Unfortunately, the hyperdrive is just it's essentially like not a fraud, it's like a fake. And basically, Afra is able to take this cube that actually has information and everything on it, gives it to Dominus Tag, and ultimately the job is well done. It is all good and done. Of course, the Unbroken Clan is still on their tail, and the leader is looking for blood. So one of the big things that with this issue is it is gonna expect. It is the first cameo appearance of Dirge within the Disney canon. For those of you who don't know, Dirge made his first appearance within the Clone Wars microseries back in 2005. It was kind of the prequel to what was it? I can't remember. Revenge of the Sith. So it is really, really cool to see him back when the next issue, number 11, which I think is going to be his first full appearance. We don't know. Of course, I don't know that because War of the Bounty Hunters, the actual main book, hasn't come out yet, so maybe he'll make an appearance in that. But overall, really, really fun book, and I just wanted to talk about it just mainly because it's the first cameo of Dirge within this new continuity, within the Disney continuity, for those of you who care. So my number, I think, so starting off, let me see. Yep, okay. Starting off with my number 5 pick, this one was really, really good. It is XMen number 20 from Jonathan Hickman. This basically continues off where, I believe issue 16, it was, this is a Mystique-focused issue, as Jonathan Hickman likes to do. He'll drop a thread in like early issues, then come back to it eventually, which is just kind of how Hickman is as a writer. But this one was really, really cool. So basically what is going on is Magneto and Charles have assigned Mystique to destroy basically Epsilon Station, not Epsilon Station, that's aliens, but the station from the Power of X event. Oh my god, I dropped the back and board. So they're basically Akira Station, where basically it is the place where the birth of Nimrod is. So basically what it is, that Professor X and Magneto are sending Mystique to do is to basically take out Nimrod before it comes online. Unfortunately for them and Mystique, Nimrod comes online and just the whole mission goes awry because Nimrod is like this highly superior sentinel. He's able to duplicate himself and be able to get rid of this bomb that was essentially going to destroy the whole station. And unfortunately, due to this, Mystique had a promise initially. Charles and Magneto had a promise for Mystique to resurrect their Destiny, aka Mystique's wife, but unfortunately, since the mission failed, that doesn't happen, and it's going to be really cool because this is actually going to be, I think it is, of what they're setting it up to be, it is the main catalyst for their new, the new X-Men big event called Inferno. Now, Inferno is, I think, a reference to a older event within the 80s, I think written by Claremont. So it is going to be really, really fun, but this one's going to be focused on Mystique, kind of just because she's fed up with Krakoa at this point, because they're not resurrecting Destiny, and Destiny has a really powerful, her mutant ability is to be able to see into the future. So it was very, very cool to see this issue, and it ends with basically Magneto and Charles going to Moira McTaggart, who is a mutant, so, and who has lived multiple lives, so she's seen like the different timelines of where mutants end up. So, very interesting book. I'm very excited. Unfortunately, Hickman is going to be getting off this book, I think within June or July this summer at some point. There's going to be a new writing team, and it's just starting over at #1, which is kind of a little frustrating, because just keep the book going of its current. I don't necessarily like relaunches, but it's going to be very interesting, because I think it will happen after the gala, the Hellfire Gala, which is going to be their little kind of like a mini event before getting into Inferno. So, X-Men #20 was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. So, next one is Robin #2. This one is really, really cool. So it begins on what we thought was a big cliffhanger of where Damian dies, but we learn Lazarus Island, you can't die on Lazarus Island. You keep coming back, which is really, really cool. And basically what we learned is the rules is that you have the ability you can die ultimately 3 times. You have to fight in the daylight. But it's really, really cool as we get a lot of development. We also get a little cool development with Flatline, who is a new, I think, a completely brand new character for this. But it is really, really cool. But Flatline is really, really fun. It's like a really fun character, because they have like kind of this weird, like, they're kind of like flirtatious a little bit, but it's really, really funny. But it's a really, really good issue. I'm very excited to see where this book continues, because it really it's a solid, solid book. I'm very excited to see where it goes from here. And we also like, I'm very, very excited to see, because it also has Rose Wilson, aka Ravager, so I'm very excited to see where this book continues. Damian has become really much a lovable character in my eyes, but basically what the issue comes down to is kind of Damian learning about the League of Lazarus and everything. So I'm very excited to see where this book continues. It's really, really fun. Flatline is a super fun character. I can't wait to see more of the interactions with her and Damian Wayne. So yeah, that is my #4 pick for this week. So, with the continuation, we got Aliens #3 by Philip Kennedy Johnson. This continues where the last issue left off with the Xenomorph attack, which was really, really cool. And we kind of get more of that within this issue. So, basically what we, it's really, really cool, because you get there's a lot of tension within this book with the Xenomorphs and everything. And it shows that they're relatively hard to kill, which is really, really interesting to see that again. But what we learn is that they're trying to find Alpha. Of course, they're also Gabriel's trying to find his son Danny. But what we eventually learn is that the scientist that they saved at one point was I think Dorsey is actually Iris, the leader of the anti-Weyland-Yutani group. And basically, it's actually the whole thing I really love about this Alien story, just to get off a tangent, is that it focuses on a Weyland-Yutani employee, which is not usually something we see too often within the movies. It's also, Ripley and everybody were employees of Weyland-Yutani, but seeing somebody from a security standpoint of where their job is really on the line, they're like, you have to get this Alpha. And we learn a little bit more, and we get allusions to what the Alpha may be. It's kind of the Syl alien we saw at the beginning of the first issue. But we also learn is that Iris basically, they kind of have this debate going back and forth of the ethics of Weyland-Yutani and everything. So, but basically before Iris, there is a friend they meet. Gabriel meets up with a friend who had a face hugger on him, and he basically is going to have a chase burster pop out of him. And basically, he to stop. He kind of not stops, but he basically, instead of going after Iris, he actually just takes the xenomorph, and he is called fascist by Iris. So it is really, really interesting to see, because it's kind of sad, because somebody who's worked for Weyland-Yutani his whole life, he's done so much, he's going to essentially get fucked over from Weyland because of something that his son did. So it is very interesting. And we also get a little cool cameo at the end, and it's freaking Bishop at the end, which is really, really cool. I'm very, very excited for the continuation of the series, to see where it goes. I want to know a lot more about the Alpha. I think it's a very interesting concept, especially for an alien. I mean, they've always introduced, like, even with Dark Horse, they've introduced unique ideas to the aliens. So, yeah, that's my number 3 recommendation. The camera's about to cut out, so I will be right back really quick. My number 3 recommendation was Aliens. Once again, I have nothing good to say. I have everything good to say about that series. It's really, really fun. I'm excited to see what the Alpha is and what it's about, because it's a very unique and different version of the alien. So with my number 2 recommendation, I don't think it comes to any surprise. It is Department of Truth number 9. So this one's actually a really, really interesting issue. So we kind of go from the point of view of Cole talking to Hawk, who was this, what to say? He was kind of like this government liaison. It opens up with Cole talking about the Starface Man when he was a child, the one that he saw. And basically what we learn is kind of like Hawk's position within the Department of Truth. We kind of learned a little bit about that at the last issue, to get kind of essentially get rid of the fake Denver airport that was the operation base of the Black Hat. But basically, what Hawk does is he goes over history of, like, the idea of magic, and where it really truly connects to. It connects truly to, what is it? It truly connects to, like, symbols, like different signals, and seeing those, and how different religions take those symbols, and those are what give it magic. Not necessarily knowing what to do, like the spells and stuff, but the symbols are kind of the key to magic, which is really, really interesting. So it is cool. It is really, really cool. And also, like, Hawk kind of, like, diminishes Cole just because Cole is a gay character. I chalk it up to how Titan writes it. Is Hawk is a much older character. Like, he's clearly from that age of where a lot of that stuff wasn't okay. And Cole does take a good offense with it, which I don't like. I don't think it's intentional, because Titan is a bisexual man. So it is very interesting to see, kind of like, but I chalk it up to Hawk being old. But it is really, really cool, because what he basically does is he kind of, like, for examples of, like, destroying, like, Denver Airport, the Black Cat's operation, that version of Denver Airport, he basically plants, like, things here and there of where he manipulates the news of doing events. So what he does is there's a bomb that goes off in the travel bag, and that basically circulates around the news. Like, that keeps them on the news for quite a bit, which is really, really cool. There is actually a cool thing they actually do. Hawk actually references frickin' the Point Pleasant incident, where they were trying to basically, it's learned that Oswald, Lee, and Doc were trying to get manifest essentially a UFO, their own UFO, and they wanted to capture it, but they end up creating the frickin' Mothman, which is really, really, really cool. Once again, Titan's writing is really, really great in this, and it's actually really cool because we learned something that we didn't know before about the Scarlet Woman, who has been kind of the main kind of figurehead of Black Cat, who we've seen throughout the whole kind of every issue, roughly. And we learned that Cole, Hawk, Lee, and Ruby, who have seen it, and Ruby, we didn't know that at that point. So the next issue, I think, is going to completely focus on, like, Ruby's first experience with the Scarlet Woman. Once again, Department of Truth, I think, is a phenomenal series. It is really, really cool. Delves within the kind of conspiracy theory side, also another thing I want to mention, as Hawk said, he uses symbols, so he'll put like symbols here and there, like within a television, like a commercial or something, to get people focused off that, because if they notice that kind of stuff and the kind of manipulation, so basically they can get rid of like the exaggerated things, like the ice wall at the end of the world, that kind of thing. So it's very interesting to see what they are doing. Once again, Department of Truth is a fantastic book. I really love it. Very, very good. Can't wait for this to become a TV show. I don't know exactly where. I think Amazon maybe, but I'm not completely sure. So with my number one recommendation for this week, it's actually kind of a surprising one, I think, for a lot of you guys. It is Something is Killing the Children, number 16. This is the beginning story arc of Erica Slaughter's origin story, which is really, really cool, and I'm very excited to see her origin and how, like, really the Order of St. George works within this universe. It's really, really cool. And we actually learned that Erica was taken in by a, oh God, what's her name? Trying to think. But she's taken in by a woman who it's really, really interesting to see, and she's actually the one who actually came to the scene for Erica, but it's actually learned that Erica actually took the monster out completely on her own, so it kind of like is this unique kind of she's this kind of unique outlier, and she's basically set in to join the Order of the Order of St. George, which is really, really going to be very cool. So I'm very excited to see where the story continuously goes within the whole origin of this series. I'm very, very excited because it is going to be a very interesting to see the origin of Erica Slaughter. The art is really, really good in it. We also get points of oh God, sorry. We also get points of flashbacks of where we see the whole event happen of what like kind of lead Erica to kill the monster, but we only get snippets of it. I think this whole base arc, since the first arc was a relatively long arc, I think, which was really, really cool, that we'll get to see this kind of, it's going to be a kind of smaller arc, so it's going to be really cool to see where time goes with the origin of Erica Slaughter. But I really enjoyed this book. It's probably one of my favorite books right now, along with Department of Truth. As I said, I like a lot of books, so yeah, that's my number one recommendation. So to recap, some of my favorite ones, my honorable mention was Dr. Aphra. Number 5 was X-Men 20 from Hickman. Number 4 was Robin by Joshua Williams. Number 3 was Aliens by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Department of Truth by Titan, number 9. And also Department of, Something Killing the Children, number 16 from Titan as well. So yeah, that's it, this Mythical Mountain Monday, or Tuesday if you want to say that. I hope you guys had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Hope it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that's it. And also, I hope you guys enjoyed the whole previous week of our Orlando stuff. I really loved doing those videos. It was a very, very fun trip for us. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. So with that being said, make sure to check us out. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell notification so you get notified when Mythical Mountain Mondays, What's in Box Wednesdays, and Figure Review Fridays come out. Also check us out on our respective Instagram pages. Links will be down below, and our Mercari shops will be down below as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and